Hello and welcome to this week's AB Tutor video. These days, a lot of students will have their own computer at school, whether it's one that's been provided by the school itself or their own personal device that they use for schoolwork. This brings up a few unique challenges with a standard AB Tutor setup, as arranging computers into groups based on the room they live in will no longer work. Instead, there are a few alternatives. The first step with any of these methods is to ensure that the AB Tutor client is installed on the student's computers and that they are registered on the central server as shown in the install video. This will allow AB Tutor to show those devices. Once the client computers are installed, there are several ways to make them visible to the console user. The first and simplest is to use dynamic groups, which allow students to join a group rather than the groups needing to be defined in advance. This removes the need to know which computer will be where and when, allowing groups to be made on the fly, although it does require a little bit of configuration first. Edit the user for the console user and ensure they have the Dynamic Groups Creator role. Once they've been given this role, they should go to Tools, Settings, Advanced Group Types and tick Dynamic Group to add them to the interface. Now, if they right-click on My Private Groups, they can create a new dynamic group. All dynamic groups must have a name, perhaps the teacher's name, the room number, or the lesson name. You can also add a passphrase to the group to prevent clients joining who shouldn't be involved, although this is optional. Once a dynamic group has been created, client users will see an AB Tutor icon in their system tray. If they right-click on this icon, they will see a list of all dynamic groups available on the server. Selecting one of these groups will join their client to it, after requesting a passphrase if necessary. When a client joins a group, they will automatically appear on the console in the appropriate group, allowing the console user to control them as normal. The console will show how many devices are in the group, allowing the teacher to make sure that all their students have joined. Once you're finished with a dynamic group, you can either leave it for future use or right-click on it and select Delete to remove it. Clients can leave a group by right-clicking on the AB Tutor icon in the system tray again and either select the same group again to leave or select a different group to join that one instead. An alternative to dynamic groups is for teachers to create their own groups based on the students in their class. To allow a console user to create their own custom groups, again we need to go to the server, the Users section, and give the user the Private Group Creator role. Once they have the role, if the user right-clicks on My Private Groups, they will have a new option for New Private Group. This option allows them to select whether they create a device group or a username group. Create a device group, give it a name, then right-click and select Properties. From here, the console user can choose which computers they wish to have in their group. Please note that there are no restrictions on this. They will be able to add any computers running the AB client, so if you are allowing private group creators, you may wish to not install the AB client on staff computers, or at least if you do, ensure that you apply protected privacy policies to them. Once you have selected all of the required computers, click Add and then Save. This group will now work in the same way as a normal device group, except that it doesn't show up for other users. It's only available for the user who created it. Console admins will, however, be able to see this group in the Other Private Groups section. This allows them to keep an eye on what groups have been created and assist if a teacher is having trouble adding the relevant clients. It is possible to apply policies to dynamic and private groups, however, be careful doing so as they can only be removed by someone with access to that group, that is, the staff member who applied it or administrators. The third method of creating groups for BYOD is to have all the devices in Active Directory security groups and use sync jobs to create AB Tutor groups. Setting this up would be at least as much work as setting the groups up manually in AB Tutor. However, if you already have these groups for another reason, it may be the simplest way to configure it. For more information on syncing security groups, please check out the video linked on the card and in the description. The other concern with running AB Tutor on students' personal computers is security. We normally recommend that students are not given administrator access to the computers to ensure that they can't break or remove the AB client. However, if the computer belongs to them, this is likely to not be possible. In this situation, we recommend an administrative approach, such as a loss of privileges for any student who removes or breaks the software. That said, it can be made harder to remove. Again, in the central server, go to Device Settings and Device Security. From here, you can remove the option to stop the client or to uninstall it, which makes removal more difficult. I hope this has given you some useful information to help you set up your BYOD computers. However, as always, if you have any further questions, please let us know by emailing support@abtutor.com. Thanks for watching.